Hey guys, Alolan Doug Trio here to ask, where have I been lately? Sure, I could stand here and come up with all sorts of excuses, but truthfully, I've been playing Sun and Moon non-stop every hour of every day. And before I knew it, it was next year. Anyway, since I haven't talked about Sun and Moon much at all since its release, I figure it's about time I did that. And what better place to start other than announcing which Gen 7 newly announced Pokemon were my favorite. I absolutely love what Alola did to the Pokemon franchise. We've got great environments, characters, that Kukui guy. And last but not least, we got so many amazing Pokemon. In fact, I think I like them all, so believe me when I say this list was not easy to make. If you for some reason have not played Sun and Moon yet, spoilers, I guess? Who am I kidding, you've played those games. Oh, and another spoiler, every single entry is indeed Rowlet. You have been warned. Once you guys are done with this video, be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed, and share it with a friend, and then comment down below telling me which Generation 7 Pokemon were your favorite. And with that said, we can roll the video.
Number 10, Decidueye. It's not exactly a secret that I'm a huge fan of Rowlet, our lord and savior, and embodiment of all that is good, so it makes sense for me to like its evolutions as well. Well, Decidueye turned out to be super cool and officially earned my seal of approval. Granted, it's pretty hard to mess up the design of an owl, my personal favorite animal, so it's good that Game Freak didn't screw up this evolution line. I must admit, I didn't see the Archer theme coming, and I expected more of a gentlemanly approach, which would have been just as freaking sweet, but I'm not at all complaining about the direction Game Freak decided to take with the Pokemon. The only reason Decidueye isn't higher on this list is because in battle, I'm not gonna lie, the Pokemon was pretty underwhelming. I'm sure it has good uses in competitive, but for my initial playthrough, my poor owl was outsped and one-shot more times than I can count. However, I adore everything else the Pokemon has going for it, and I love Decidueye, all things considered. Number 9, PYUKUMUKU. Holy sweet Jeebus, I love this little squish. It's one of the cutest things I've ever looked at in my life, and I want it, I want it, I want it! And you better believe that I got one as soon as I possibly could. It's just so adorbs! Everything from its cry, its little rabbit tail, and its animations in Pokemon Refresh is just off the charts, out of this world cute. Also, even if it wasn't, there are several other things the Pokemon has going for it. Firstly, Innards Out is a hilariously cool ability that leaves the player with lots of creative potential. This ability makes PYUKUMUKU deal damage equal to the amount of HP it had left when it fainted. So if there's a pesky Mega Evolution that you want dead, send out this atomic bomb of a Pokemon, let it die, and watch the fireworks show. Oh, and don't try to argue with me about how practical doing this would be. Even if this strategy is completely useless, I still find it amazing that it exists. PYUKUMUKU dares you to hit it. Go ahead, you're going down with it. Number 8, Alolan Raichu. I know I just gushed about how cute I thought a Pokemon was, but I'm sorry, but Alolan Raichu is the cutest thing. Regular old Raichu is actually a pretty forgettable Pokemon in my opinion, but the tropical Alolan variation will easily stand the test of time for me. How could you not pay attention to this Pokemon? It's a constantly happy Pokemon that uses its mind powers to surf on its tail. And also, take a gander at this. Even Pokemon researchers don't know why Raichu's form changed in the Alola region. The people of Alola seem unconcerned by the question. Their guess? Maybe it ate too many sweet and fluffy round pancakes. What? I don't know why this is a thing, but I'll take it. It's a pancake-loving, happy-go-lucky, telepathic mouse? Sign me up, please. Oh, and for the record, I did have one on my team. His name is Maple. I love you, Maple. Number 7, MINIOR. Okay, I'm going to be calm and collective about this one. Cute, 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 cute! MINIOR is so cute! Okay, I'm done. That wasn't so bad, right? Fortunately, if you're tired of the kawaii desu crap, I can say that my love for MINIOR goes way past its appearance. Here's what it mostly boils down to. MINIOR is an absolute blast to use in battle. I didn't figure this out until post-game, but oh lordy am I glad I experimented with it. Sun and Moon brought us a plethora of awesome new abilities, and MINIOR's Shields Down is one of my favorite of the bunch. This ability increases the Pokemon's speed and offensive stats by a notable amount once the Pokemon reaches half health or less. Pair this with Shell Smash and Acrobatics, and your cute little pebble becomes a world-ending meteor. Throw a white herb on top of that for good measure, and MINIOR is primed and ready to sweep. I suppose I just think it's amusing to see this cute little rock zip through and decimate much stronger looking foes. Number 6, DHELMISE. Oh man, this is definitely a Pokemon that had to grow on me. And can you blame me? This thing is a freaking anchor. And I'm sure the same people who were quick to judge Pokemon such as Klefki and Vanillix also hate this guy as well. However, the more I thought about it, the more I realized how cool DHELMISE was conceptually. First off, I was really skeptical about the Ghost Grass type combo. Why not Ghost Steel, I thought to myself. Well, the answer is simple. The anchor isn't the Pokemon, the seaweed bit is. DHELMISE has simply attached itself to the anchor to give it some way to defend itself and knock opponents' teeth out. The compass on the wheel is cleverly made out to look like an eye, but in actuality, that's all it is, a compass. The design is genius in my opinion, and realistically, it would make sense that a ghost could possess algae considering that algae is a living thing. Hate on DHELMISE if you want to, but I find the Pokemon to be one of the most cleverly designed ones of all time. Number 5, Rowlet. Oh man, it's the one that everyone saw coming, the beloved grass starter himself. Rowlet. I previously made a video expressing my undying love about Rowlet. Yeah, that one, but I suppose I can go into more detail. If you were paying attention earlier, you'd know that owls are my favorite animal. Furthermore, in all of my first playthroughs of any new Pokemon game, I pick the grass starter, as I've always had a hard-to-explain attraction towards them. So, how did I react when I found out that I could start my journey with an adorable grass-type owl Pokemon? I was on cloud 9, baby. And while I'm quite fond of the Pokemon's evolutions, they just don't hold a candle to Rowlet if you ask me. I don't know, there's just something so captivating about its simple design. Everything from its grass bow tie to its round appearance, it all puts a big goofy smile on my face every time I look at it. And that, my friends, gives this Pokemon the official Mandals seal of approval. Number 4, SALAZZLE. This is a tough entry to talk about because my reasons for loving SALAZZLE are quite simple. This Pokemon is cool. It's flashy, has a sweet design, and a never-before-seen type combination that I'm sure everyone fell in love with instantly. I'm referring, of course, to that rad poison-fire combo. You can burn foes alive, also while eating away at them with deadly venom. This was also an extremely convenient Pokemon to have on my team during my initial playthrough. Most Pokemon in Sun and Moon, at least the new ones, are relatively slow. Not SALAZZLE though. She tears through foes at high speeds and hits them with an awesome base special attack. If I had no idea what I was up against, I led with SALAZZLE. Chances were she'd easily deal with whatever was sent out. Last, I want to talk about the female-only requirement to evolve Salandit. Some people really hate this, but I don't mind it in the slightest. It's called sexual dimorphism, people. Look it up. Science. Number 3, NECROZMA. Again, I find myself at a loss of words because much like SALAZZLE, I love NECROZMA almost purely for its badass factor. And I really think badass is the only word to properly describe it. Have you seen this thing, dude? It's a hulking mass of crystalline prisms that can manipulate light to unleash powerful laser beams. I guess it helps that the Pokemon is a legendary and that I knew little about it going into the game. Seriously, I'm usually on top of leaks when it comes to new Pokemon, but for some reason I overlooked this guy, so he was an awesome surprise when I encountered it in-game. It was also an absolute joy to have when sweeping the Elite Four in order to give my other pokes some extra XP. NECROZMA was basically able to do this itself after I taught it a few handy TMs. To wrap things up, I just want to touch upon this battle animation for a sec. NECROZMA looks like it's in such immense pain, almost as if it's got too much power for its own good. This is creepy, dark, cryptic, and I absolutely adore it. Number 2, Type Null. Type Null is probably the oddest and most mysterious entry on this list. However, it's the weirdness of Type Null that got me so interested in the first place. Upon its initial leak, I wasn't really sure what to think. It appeared to be a conglomerate put together using many different Pokemon parts. A true Frankenstein's monster. And you know what? That's exactly what it was. It turns out that Faba, however you pronounce it, of the Ether Foundation designed this Pokemon to combat Ultra Beasts, and its design was inspired by the almighty Arceus. These madmen tried to recreate God by playing God. My God. And the result was this artificial monstrosity, Type Null. I love the man-made design of the Pokemon, I love the Pokemon's backstory, and I love the fact that it's a failed attempt to make another Arceus. It's all very intriguing. Oh, and if you're wondering why I prefer Null over its evolution Silvally, well, I suppose it's the mask. Silvally looks much more organic as opposed to the shrouded in mystery Type Null. Null looks much more like it was made in a lab, and I guess that's just slightly more appealing to me. Number 1. Mimikyu. I'm beginning to realize that I may have an obsession with creepy and strange Pokemon. And wow, let me tell you, Mimikyu is the epitome of creepy and strange. Where do I even start? This Tim Burton's rendition of Pikachu was revealed months before Sun and Moon came out, and I was at a complete loss of words when I saw it. I mean, look at it. Mimikyu looks like something straight out of a fever dream, and because of that, I was immediately on board. Another thing that threw me on board was the fact that Mimikyu basically gets a free substitute. This is all thanks to Disguise, which goes into effect the second Mimikyu is sent out. Basically, you can damage them on, and it won't take damage once. Any damage. The next thing that intrigued me was the fact that Mimikyu looks like Pikachu, only royally f***ed up. And the reason for this is actually pretty tragic. Mimikyu just wants to be loved, but its true form kills people and scares them off. Therefore, it dresses like a popular and lovable Pokemon in hopes that it will be loved. Don't worry, Mimikyu. I'll love you. I'll love you forever. I'm not crying, you're crying. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and if you aren't subbed to me already, click that subscribe button to know whenever I post new content. Also, here's some other videos that I made that you can click on if you're interested. That's all for now, guys, and until next time, peace.